Do you have anything in your house right now of Potter?
I've got my Spectrespecs. I've got a picture of Luna right over there, actually.
I do have George's missing ear somewhere.
Oh, wow.
Slam dunk, are you ready to make me?
Yeah, it's
Oh, gross.
Yeah, it's on the wall upstairs.
Just pinned there.
Well, no, it's in a frame, but they would make a new one every day. So
Wow.
it went from everything
really
from literally taking it off and just
surprised.
throwing it against the wall, or just I think it was one of the last ones I had. I just put in a bit of tissue paper and took it home.
Oh, you didn't tell them that you were taking it?
No, I told them I was taking it because it normally just went in the bin anyway.
Oh, okay.
So,
Yeah,
so I
because
just
they
did that.
were so... I asked for... They made molds of my feet for one scene, even though we didn't end up using them. And I asked for them and they wouldn't let me have them. And they are on exhibition. Like, everything, they're like, no, we're gonna put it out there. And
I think they always knew they were going to do that, didn't they? I mean, I do have a bust of my head though still.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Wow.
I've got it in here actually.
Why did you have your head cast?
For the ear.
For the whole ear?
Yeah, so for this little bit of the ear, they basically did a copy of my whole head,
Oh my
and then
gosh.
from that they build it up, so they knew exactly what to work with. But the one at
How
the
much of
studio
your
tour,
whole ear is gone, right?
yeah, the whole lot, yeah, pretty much, yeah. So it was a little hole. I actually found some photos the other day of the original design for when George gets it knocked off. How bloody and gory it was, and there was like singed
Whoa.
hair. There was like blood everywhere. But they were told, I think it was going to turn the film to a 15 rating if they
really?
used that, at least, yeah. So they had to dumb it down a bit in the actual scene.
Did you like your characters? Were they your favourite characters?
Yes.
Yeah, I'd say so. Mainly because I think two reasons. One, because they were very, I suppose, sarcastic, and also very much the joking force of it, which is obviously an attractive trait, and also being an identical twin, you gravitate to people who are like you, and that was very much how I saw the characters. So when it got to the point where we had the chance to audition for them, it wasn't a big deal to be able to do that, if you know what I mean. It was very much a case of, cool, yeah, we'll just all right, I know what these guys can do, and we were kind of it as well.
And how
Yeah, but you
did
say that, but
decide-
I was gonna say I was a lot like you said, Evie. That I was very shy, and so playing a character which was quite outgoing was
Wow.
something new. And
Wow.
I would say I was very shy for at least 1.5 films.
Really? Huh.
And I was always worried that people would think I was quite arrogant or whatever, but I wasn't. I was exactly like you were saying. I wasn't. I was just, I didn't want to put my foot in it. If the attention ever came my way, I knew I'd drop the ball and say something really silly.
And did it help you playing Fred?
Yes, definitely,
It brought you out. Wow.
definitely.
I have a question. How did you guys decide who would play who? Did you have a preference from reading the books?
No, so how it actually worked was they just before the first read through, and we're talking 5 minutes before we're supposed to start, we still had no idea who was Fred and who was George. So we asked Janet Hutchison, who is the main casting director, who's Fred and who's George, and she said, "Oh, you're kidding."
That's a great one. A good one.
Really don't know. And there was J.K. Rowling, David
Heyman,
and
Chris Columbus.
And you see Janet just suddenly dip in and start talking. They look to each other to have a little discussion, and then we're talking like a 20-second discussion, if that. And then Janet walks back around and says, "Right, okay, James, you're Fred, Oliver, you're George." Now, we always like to think they're just, you didn't get the memo about the huge meeting we had in Burbank with like 50 people on the call. But in hindsight, it was probably either Chris, David, or J.K. Rowling just saying, "I don't know, James is Fred." So that could be how it is. We'll never know. Some things I think will never be known.
Slam dunk, are you ready